Coco Gauff smashes Racket in frustration after 59-minute collapse in Australian Open quarterfinal. Coco Gauff's hopes of winning this year's Australian Open came crashing down in just 59 minutes on Tuesday, as she was beaten in straight sets in the quarterfinals by Ukrainian star Alina Svitolina. The American had been playing so well in Melbourne that many tipped her to win her first Australian Open and third Grand Slam overall, but she struggled to find any of that previous form against Svitolina in sweltering conditions. The Ukrainian, who has also been on a hot streak this year, capitalized on Gauff's poor performance to win 6-1, 6-2 in less than an hour and booked her place in the semifinal against world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka. Clearly frustrated by her level during the quarterfinal, Gauff was filmed smashing her racket against a concrete ramp after making her way off the court at Rod Laver Arena. It was a moment of frustration that she thought was private. "I tried to go somewhere where I thought there wasn't a camera because I don't necessarily like breaking rackets," Gauff told reporters after the match. "I tried to go somewhere where they wouldn't broadcast it, but obviously, they did. So, yeah, maybe some conversations can be had because I feel like at this tournament the only private place we have is the locker room." A lot of Gauff's frustration likely stemmed from her poor serving performance in the first set, where the world number 3 produced 5 double faults that saw her broken in 4 service games. While her serving improved in the second set, the 21-year-old still made 12 unforced errors, which saw any hopes of a comeback extinguished. "I just felt like all the things I do well, I just wasn't doing well today," Gauff said. "The backhand wasn't firing. Forehand wasn't really firing. Returns. There was just a lot that didn't go well today. I credit it to her because she forced me to play like that. It's not like I just woke up and, yeah, today was a bad day. But bad days are often caused by your opponent. So she did well." Gauff said she doesn't necessarily regret smashing her racket behind the scenes, knowing the importance of letting off steam after such a frustrating day at the office. She would much prefer to do that, she said, rather than take it out on her coaching team in the players' box. "I don't want to lash out on my team. They are good people. They don't deserve that, and I know I'm emotional," she added. "I just took the minute to go and do that. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I said, I don't try to do it on court in front of kids and things like that. But I do know I need to let out that emotion. Otherwise, I'm just going to be snappy with the people around me. And I don't want to do that because, like I said, they don't deserve it. They did their best. I did mine. Just need to let the frustration out." At the heart of Melbourne Park on January 27, 2026, a story unfolded that was as much about human emotion as it was about high-performance sport. American tennis star Coco Gauff, the world number 3 and 2-time Grand Slam champion, suffered a shocking quarterfinal defeat at the Australian Open, a match that lasted a mere 59 minutes and culminated in a rare public display of frustration, smashing her racket off-court. It wasn't just the loss that made headlines. It was what happened after the collapse, when things went wrong. Gauff entered the quarterfinal with high expectations, but from the outset, her game faltered. She struggled with her serve, committing multiple double faults and making an unusually high number of unforced errors. Her opponent, Ukraine's Alina Svitolina, seized control, dominating the match and closing it out 6-1, 6-2 in under an hour, an outcome that stunned many fans and analysts. In tennis, a quick straight sets loss like this, for a player of Gauff's caliber, is rare. The abruptness of the defeat left an emotional residue, a cumulative frustration of unmet expectations, technical miscues, and fierce internal pressure. The smash that shook social media. After leaving the court, still in the heat of disappointment, Gauff attempted to find a quiet space away from cameras. She didn't want to break her racket on court, an act she has previously said she avoided to set a good example, especially in front of children watching. But in a moment many players thought was private, Gauff slammed her racket repeatedly into a concrete ramp backstage, a physical release for pent-up emotion. The twist. That moment was captured by cameras and broadcast worldwide. Instead of fading quietly into the night, the footage went viral, sparking debates across social media, sports panels, and news outlets. What Gauff said, a call for privacy and respect. In her post-match comments, Gauff explained that she deliberately sought a place she believed was off-camera. She said the act wasn't meant for public spectacle, but rather a healthy emotional release, a means of getting her disappointment out without directing it at her team. She referenced past events, like Aryna Sabalenka's similar outburst after the 2023 U.S. Open, to underline the need for boundaries in what gets shown to the public. Above all, Gauff stressed that certain moments, especially emotional ones off court, don't need to be broadcast, and that players deserve spaces where they can process without being under the spotlight. Reaction from the tennis world. Support from peers. Several top players voiced support for Gauff's position. Iga Swiatek, world number 1, compared constant media scrutiny to being observed like animals in the zoo and said players need more privacy. Other players like Jessica Pegula echoed similar sentiments, emphasizing that aside from locker rooms, players are incessantly recorded. Institutional backing. The WTA responded to the incident by backing calls for greater off-court privacy during tournaments. WTA leadership acknowledged that athletes need recovery spaces free from continual scrutiny and urged organizers to establish clearer boundaries between player process and promotional content. Serena Williams' light-hearted yet supportive take. Legendary tennis figure Serena Williams even chimed in publicly, humorously offering to teach Gauff how to properly demolish a racket, yet at the same time defending her passion and emotional investment. Her husband, Alexis Ohanian, also praised Gauff's intensity and criticized media sensationalism surrounding the incident. A larger conversation, athlete emotions in the digital age. What made this incident more than just another racket smash was the context. Elite athletes today are documented constantly, on court, off court, in press zones, in hallways, and even in spaces players assume are private. In previous eras, a player walking off after a loss could make phone calls, cry, pound a wall, or even smash a racket without an audience. Now, pervasive cameras and broadcast feeds follow them, blurring the line between public performance and personal emotion. Some fans argue this trend is just the price of our hyperconnected media age, that athletes knowingly step into public roles and must accept that even their vulnerable moments can be displayed. Others, like Gauff and her supporters, say there's a human cost to treating players like 24/7 content machines. What this says about the human side of sport. At its core, Gauff's reaction underscores a simple truth: even elite athletes are human.